Welcome to the Success Sensei podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in. This is Robert Devane, the Success Sensei, helping you to win at life one kick and punch at a time. Episode 336. Don't ever shelve your ambition, motivation, or energy.
It's the Success Sensei podcast main event.
Don't ever shelve your ambition, motivation, or energy. This could be a shorter episode podcast. This one, I'd say it's going to be a shorter episode because I don't have that many notes, and it's actually a fairly clear, easy and obvious message, but one that I think you're going to get something out of because you need to be told this or you need to be reminded, one or the other. So either is useful for you going forward, I'm convinced. And that is that your ambition, the ambition that you're feeling, if you're lucky enough to feel ambition, this is the point, the motivation, if you're lucky enough to be feeling motivated, if you're lucky enough to be feeling energized, all of those are fleeting, they're temporary, they don't last. So I'm here now to tell you that if you're feeling any of those things, it's time to act on them. It's time to use them. Stop believing that your ambition will last forever. Stop believing that your motivation will always be there. Stop believing that your energy is limitless, because it's not. Now, this is not a negative message. It's in fact the opposite. It's lean into your ambition, your motivation, or energy. Use them when you feel them, when you know they're there. Cultivate them, manufacture them, manage them, and absolutely, when you're feeling ambitious or you're feeling motivated or you're feeling energized, it's time to do something. It's not time to shelve them. It's not time to say, right, I'm going to put my ambition on the back burner now because it's going to be there for me later on when I need it. It's not. It might not be. If you have a good lifestyle, it could very well be, but more than likely it won't be. Think about something that you were, ambitious about, or that you were motivated towards, or that you had energy to pursue. Even a few years ago, think about one of those moments in time. Did it last? Were there times, when you had your dark days? Were there days that you felt good and other days where you didn't feel so good? Days that you wanted to go after something and other days where maybe you didn't have the confidence or the energy, the ambition or the motivation to go after those things? You can wake up one morning and you can feel like you're winning. And the very next morning, even if nothing has changed, absolutely nothing has changed in your physical or your mental reality, you can wake up, again, nothing has changed, and you can feel that you're losing. So one day you can wake up, you can feel you're winning, and the next day you can wake up and you feel that you're losing, and nothing has changed. It's just a mindset. Yes, there are hormones in us that can help reflect those moods. But the point of this is your ambition isn't there every day, your motivation isn't there every day, and your energy isn't there every day. It's just me banging my watch off the desk. Sorry about that. So make sure that when you are feeling any of these things, you use them. We tend to hide our ambition as much as possible, and we tend to hide our motivation as much as possible, and we tend to cap our energy as much as possible in order to protect ourselves from, sabotage from others or judgment from others. Depending on what society you grow up in, depending on what culture, depending on what country you grew up in, if you display, if you're overly ambitious, or you certainly display an ambition that's over the norm, it can actually come back to bite you, because people can try to hinder your progress as much as possible. That whole mentality of who does he or she think they are? They think they're better than us. Why are they trying to get ahead? So, and that goes for motivation, ambition, energy, confidence, any of these areas that if you have an abundance of it, you might you might have been trained to keep it to yourself or to keep it quiet, but absolutely don't deny it to yourself. Use it and go with it. They are diminishing assets, or they certainly can be diminishing assets. All of these things can be fleeting. They can be temporary. They don't last forever. More than likely, they will decrease over time. So if you're ambitious, if you have an ambitious young person, a motivated and an energized young person, as the decades go on, it's harder to have that youthful ambition. Mental and physical health, as it declines, will decrease your motivation, your energy, your ambition. You will also have more time constraints. So you mightn't have the same amount of time to be able to explore your ambition, your motivation, or your energy. You might have more financial constraints as well. Yes, everybody thinks that as the future goes, they're going to have, in future time, they're going to have more money. You may be earning more money, but you probably have more financial responsibilities as well. So you might have less room to explore your goals, or to have the ambition, motivation, or energy to go after other areas in your life that you may have wanted. And responsibility across the board increases as well. You may have more responsibility to others, that you can't take the same risks, and that puts you off chasing things that you're ambitious about, motivated for, and enthused and energized to pursue. So I'm probably painting a bleak picture of as you age, but it can actually increase too with age. For example, people with kids tend to, have to focus more on what's important. So you can have more ambition, motivation, and energy in key areas, are certainly the ones that help you and your family survive. You can be more enthused in those areas. But as you age, your confidence can be decreasing. Yes, it can increase as well, but it can also decrease. As you age, you can become more disillusioned with the whole process. You can become more skeptic. Skepticism, cynicism can creep in. So to say and to believe that your ambition, your motivation, and your energy are always going to be there is a falsehood. It's a fallacy. So what I'm saying to you now, and the whole point of this episode, is whatever you have ambition towards, go do it. If that ambition is there today, do it. Don't wait. Don't wait an hour. Don't wait, half a day. Don't put it off to the next week. Whatever you have motivation to do, even if there was other things that you could have been doing or should have been doing, if you're motivated to do something, strike while the iron is hot. If you have the energy to do something, that whole don't put off to tomorrow what can be done today, is very true because of these three areas that you're talking about. It is a limited pool. There are limited resources. I love to see the qualities of, ambition and motivation and energy in people. In fact, any employer who is looking to, hold interviews for potential employees, they're looking for those qualities over and above skill level. Someone with ambition, motivation, and energy can attain the skills, the knowledge, the expertise they need in order to be able to successfully or to be successful in whatever role you're interviewing for. So there, and nowadays people are so disillusioned. They are so I suppose a lack of ambition, lack of motivation, there can be an overwhelming feeling of hopelessness. So these qualities, those positive qualities, if you have them, it puts you ahead of the pack. It absolutely puts you ahead of your competition. So learn to use them. Yes, learn to cultivate them. Whatever you can do in your everyday life, keeping your body and your mind fit, having a good sleeping pattern, eating right, immersing yourself in positive learning and education. All of these things can help increase or certainly focus your ambition, your motivation, and your energy. So the mistake I see with a lot of people is simply believing that these areas will always be there. I can concentrate on a different thing right now because later on I can go to my pool of ambition, motivation, or energy and expect it to be there. And that might not be the case. So don't lose out on your drive and your enthusiasm right now, today. Don't put it off for tomorrow in case it's not there for tomorrow. Certainly don't put it off for a year's time or a decade's time. What are the things that you should be chasing right now that you've been putting off that you think you can always get back to? What have you put on the back burner, is the expression, thinking that you can go after them at a later stage, because maybe you won't have those qualities there to be able to go after them. You know, if your confidence is decreasing instead of increasing over the years and over the decades, and that's a possibility. Hopefully it's increasing, but it's as you're learning and as you're getting wiser and, you know, gaining more experience and gaining momentum, hopefully it's increasing. But the harsh reality is that for a lot of people, after their youthful years, their confidence decreases in so many areas. So therefore, strike while the iron's hot. Don't be putting off your goals. Whatever it is you feel ambition towards, you feel motivation towards, and you're energized to do, go after it. Don't wait. Don't be so concerned about pretending to be modest, pretending, you know, not to really want these things. If you really want them, go after it now and not later on down the road when you may not have the ability to go after them. Have a think about that. Hopefully it's giving you a little bit of motivation, a little bit of ambition, and a little bit of energy. Thank you for listening. I'm Robert Devane, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.